Hello everyone, this is the Fiery End with our Let's Play series. This is going to be episode 18?
18? It's
Wow,
legal!
it's legal!
Woo!
Hey, there's my buddy, that was dumb, and frequently also known as just Dummy. Um, Gonna jump right into it today. There's been lots of changes around my base since the last time we played because I just can't stop messing with stuff, even though I should be doing it on camera. But anyway, today I'm going to focus on enchanting and disenchanting and making stuff out of the stuff you enchant or disenchant. Anywho, um, most of these things right here should be fairly familiar to you. There's a crafting station, an anvil. That's a little new. That's a disenchanter. That's what we use to pull enchants out of things. Diamond chest for storage. An enchanter, which is slightly different than this enchanter, and then a trash can to throw away our mistakes. I already got some supplies lined up here to show you how all this works. First thing I'm going to do, though, is mess with the anvil. The dark steel armor that Dummy had made for me has gotten quite a bit of damage to it, so I'm going to try to repair some of that. What you do in the anvil is you take the piece of armor and a piece of dark steel, and that's what it is, that's what it will be. You can name your stuff here too, but I don't much care about that. It will also cost you some experience to do this. Pull this back out because otherwise it'll flop on the floor. I made sure I had some experience on me. You see I got 24 levels of experience there, which is more than enough for this. And pull that out and see how much more it has now, how much more durability. I'm told that you lose some overall durability as you do this, but we're going to be upgrading to different armor here before much longer anyway, so I don't really care. So let's. Why is it not going to let me do it again?
Because it don't like you.
Well, okay. What seems to be the problem? It's not letting me do any of the other pieces. Dark leggings. There we go.
Derp, derp.
Do I maybe have to feed it every single time? I guess I have to feed it every single time. Or maybe I'm doing something else wrong. If anybody out there knows exactly what 'tis I'm doing wrong, please let me know, because I don't have a clue at the moment.
I was looking at something else. I was only half listening. I'm sorry. What was it you were trying to do?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm not going to worry about it.
So, there. You guys get the general idea here. I'm going to put the armor back on, because if I don't, I will forget it. This little gizmo is really handy. I'm pretty sure you've seen it before with Dummy. It's XP rod, lets you take and put XP into barrels. I just dumped all my XP into that barrel. Or you can pull experience out. Easy peasy. Enchanting, disenchanting is a very XP intensive thing. You'll go through a lot of XP doing this stuff. The next bit we want to look at is a disenchanter. Now this won't cost you anything to do, but it does some damage to the stuff. As I'll demonstrate here just as soon as I get all my stuff arranged. Let's say you get a piece of armor drop that's all glowy like this, has an enchantment on it. Put this over here for the moment. Sorry, I get obsessive about that sort of thing. So we come over here, we put it in the disenchanter, you feed it some books, put the leggings, what you want to disenchant in there. Notice that it gets all displayed and glowy and runes shooting off of it. Woohoo! But all you have to do is hit the button that says cost, and now you have a book, an enchanted book, with that first enchantment off of it. And notice it did some damage to the leggings. If you want the second enchantment, Last Stand, we have some more books. Take the cost. Boom. Now we have an enchanted book with the Last Stand enchantment. Yay. And we still have some leggings, but they are no longer enchanted, and they've taken serious damage. So we don't want them anymore. We're going to dump them in the trash. That's how disenchanting works. Oops. It also works on... click the right thing there. It also works on equipment just as well. Boom. Now we have the Sharpness 2 enchantment as a book. And now we have the Execution 1. And the Iron Axe is no longer enchanted. So we're done with it. So you can see how that works. The other part of it is if you have an enchantment that you want to keep. I think these are all... yeah. I separated these have multiple enchantments, and all of these books up here have single enchants. Fire Protection 1's a good one. Let's say you have something that is not enchanted, and you would like to enchant it. I don't think I have any unenchanted stuff ready to go. One thing to note when you do this, you can't use something that has durability damage. I don't believe. They may have changed that, but the last I checked, no. We want a couple of... well, let's just take one. Let's make a sword. And a little bit of cobble. And your standard Minecraft stone sword. And we'll take this over here. Sword. Enchanted book. Did I do it wrong? Oh, that enchant doesn't go in that. Sorry. Only certain enchants will go on certain items. Otherwise, some don't make sense. No. Unbreaking. Unbreaking ought to work well. Boom. Now I have a stone sword. Did you notice that took a fair amount of my experience to do that? So there is an experience cost to enchant items. We can go ahead and disenchant it. And now we have our enchanted book back. Yay! Not real useful to do that, but it was just a demonstration type of thing. So you get
Just
that.
a reminder, I do have a large amount of stored EXP if you need any.
Oh, I know. Yes. Okay. So if we could use the anvil to do that, why do we need the enchanter? Well, let's see if I can demonstrate. I probably should have kept the sword, but I didn't. The enchanter works slightly... I'll tell you what. Let's look at it this way. The enchanter works slightly differently. Instead of requiring a book, an enchanted book, in here, you can put items in here. So if you put a book and a quill and 48 gold ingots and use... well, okay, it's increasing. 16 gold ingots and 20 or 8. You know what? Let me show you. It keeps changing on me. So, we got plenty of gold. And we need a book and quill. Now, I can take the book and quill, and I can take 8 gold ingots. And I bet I need more experience. That ought to be plenty. Why, oh why, are you not working? Oh, it was 16. My bad. There. Now, we can take the book and quill, 16 gold ingots, 8 levels of experience, and end up with an enchanted book that has XP boost, which is a handy dandy thing to have. And I already have some, so I'm not going to waste the materials doing it. But if you don't have a particular spell book to use to put an enchantment on an item, you can look through here, look through the recipes, and see if you can find the enchant that you want. Auto smelt, protection, fire protection, feather falling, blast protection, yada yada yada. Some of those are really nice. Thing is, some of these you will not find that way. Spellbane. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what that means. And it's not in the tooltip. Cleave 3. Don't know. Defusing. Don't know. You will run across enchantments in the game that are added by other mods that the Ender IO enchanter doesn't know anything about, so it can't do those. But there is something that you can do if you find those out there in the world. Then you can. There is a way that you can copy them and reproduce them and make multiples of them. I'm not sure. Auto smelt is one that you can boost up. Let's find out. If you have 2 books with the same enchantment, you can often put them in here, combine them, and you will get. See how this is auto smelt 1? Usually it'll be like auto smelt 2 or protection 2 or whatever. It'll be the next level up from whatever those 2 books are. This one, in this case, auto smelt 1 is as high as it goes. There is no auto smelt 2. Let's see if we have some of the others. Fire protection list and execution, sharpness, efficiency, protection 2, protection 3. Oh, no, only one. Sharpness, breaking, auto smelt. Looks like I did not. And I apologize. I don't have what I need on hand to do that. I'm throwing my appetite away. Let's see, how far are we in? We got 17 minutes to go. There is another mod called Bibliocraft that adds a whole bunch of neat stuff. Spell it correctly. Bibliocraft. There, see, we got a lot of stuff in Bibliocraft that's really neat. But it has 2 things that are extremely helpful for working with enchants. And I forget what the second one is. The first one is the typesetting table. This gizmo, which is not that terribly difficult to make. We need some wood planks, some wood slabs, a couple pieces of iron, and a print press chase. You'll be using a fair amount of print press. Oh, excuse me. To make it, you just need some wood slabs, and a piece of iron.
Did you say scusies?
Excuse. I was.
As big I'm
Hey,
drunk as you look I am.
hey, Ossifer. So.
And if they don't like the way I drive, they should get off the sidewalk.
That's right. There's my slabs. I knew I had some. And I'm not going to make a huge amount of these because 8 ought to do. Because. I said because.
Because.
Planks, slabs, redstone, iron. Okay. Got the iron, need the redstone. Redstone. And now I need some planks. That ought to do. Dump. And there's a typesetting table. And I'll put this here. Don't I? Where did my chases go? I had some, didn't I? Okay. Oh, there they are. Pay attention, Fiery.
Yeah, fire. Pay attention.
Alright, let's see if I can remember how to do this without making too many mistakes. So, there. The chase goes there. Chases. Let's pick a book here. Auto smelt, just because. You put the book here. Here. There is something wrong with my mouse. It keeps, well, I don't want to say double clicking, but that's what it's doing. And you come over here and you put books. Books. Oh, I have done something wrong. What have I done wrong?
What have you done wrong lately?
Is this not where you put the books? Bear with me just a sec. It is not. There's the typesetting of the printing press. That's what I needed. Lots of iron, a blaze rod, slabs, and a weighted pressure plate. So I'm going to need some iron. I got some iron. I don't think I have enough iron. By the way, in case these are new to you, these are a Minecraft Reloaded device that I love for storage. They're deep storage units. They're really easy to make, too.
Derp de derp de derp.
Right there. A couple eyes of ender, factory machine block, ender pearls, plastic sheets, deep storage unit. And they are cool because they're much like barrels, and they'll hold a whole bunch of one item. But in case of DSUs, they hold 1,000,000 of any one item. So if you have something like fertilizer that I've got 14,592 pieces of fertilizer. Now I could make barrels and upgrade the barrels and probably get that much storage in them, but this is so much easier, and you get a bunch of storage for any one item. And if you've got, like I said, if you got a ton of any one thing, this is a good option for keeping it stored nice and neat. Maybe not as good as the ME system that I'm sure Dummy's going to crow about, but I like it. Idiot. Okay, so, and the printing press. We need 3 blocks of iron. Shrimp. 3 with a couple strays. Next we need some slabs. I have slabs. Need a pressure plate. Easy enough. The blaze rod and iron ingots. We can do that. Blaze rods here? No. I'll put them over here. Why does your spawner not create blaze rods or give up blaze rods?
What do you mean?
It gives blaze powder, not rods.
The auto one?
Well, all
Because it's what's killing. I don't know.
well, because you can't make blaze rods out of blaze powder without a compressor.
I think I have one though.
Oh, I do now, but that's not the point. Is why isn't it just spitting out?
When I need rods, I'd go do the manual killing. I don't know that answer. I've noticed it, but I figured Blaze is Blaze.
I am doing something wrong, and I don't know what it is. So I tell you what, I'm just going to leave that for the moment. We'll come back to that on a next episode or something.
Okay.
So
Serious
what?
question for you.
Yes.
Do you want all this armor and whatnot, who's a who's, that I have saved up?
I doubt it.
Okay.
What I will do, because I know this will be too boring for you guys to watch, but I just want to go through the basics of this. But what I will do is I will go through and disenchant all that armor that I've got stored up, which is considerable, until I have at least one of all the enchants that are there. If it's duplicated, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to chunk it. But I'm going to do that until I have a enchanted book for every enchantment that I have on my stuff, if that makes any sense. So if you want to hold off and come back and bring your stuff and see if you have anything that has an enchant that I don't already have when I'm done,
All right.
that might be useful.
I'll save
Otherwise,
them
yeah. Okay,
for now.
so there's another little tidbit. Since I just mentioned the compressor, let me tell you something. I don't like the Industrial Craft 2 mod. I never really have gotten into it, and especially since almost all the other mods have standardized to use RF for energy, but IC2 still sticks with the old EU system. I've never been overly fond of it. However, I stumbled across something the other day. Somebody, I don't really know who it was, um, left me some RedNet energy cable in my inventory. I didn't make it. Somebody put it there. I suspect it was Blue Magister, but I don't know. Anywho, I stumbled across something, trying to figure out how I was going to take all the blaze powder I had and make it into blaze rods. And then I was searching and I was like, okay, well, fine. I'm going to have to make a compressor, which is part of Industrial Craft. And I didn't really want to, but I didn't see any way around it to get the blaze rods that I needed, so I just resigned myself to having to make some basic IC2 and connect power generation and then connect the compressor, blah, 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 blah.
I wondered what started that.
But apparently, this stuff, RedNet energy cable from Mind Factory Reloaded, will convert freely between RF and EU. So, I happily took myself down here to where my reactor is and added another. I didn't want to do that. Hey. Added another branch of my power. Ran it up and through here and made myself this large space. Ran the RedNet, connected it up, made a compressor real quick and threw it on there, and sure enough, it works. It is not the speediest thing in the world. Okay, I just noticed the RedNet energy cable is connecting to the andesite and the marble in the wall. That's helpful. Okay. Anyway, it works. So, with that in mind, I made this little space to be my little IC2 room. So, I will be doing some IC2 stuff later on, and I've decided my goal. Don't need it, but it's something that I always lusted after when I used to play back when. Is this stuff? Quantum suits, the armor, the high-end armor from IC2. Oh, I need to make a QED one of these days too. Like I said, it's not the end-all be-all armor anymore. Used to be, but I want to make it just to be able to have said that I actually did make it. because it's a touch complicated.
That's an accomplishment.
For instance, the chest needs advanced alloy, iridium reinforced plates, a lapatron crystal, and then you have to make the nanosuit armor and upgrade it into that, and got jetpacks to make, yada yada yada. So it's going to be a long involved project, but hey, anything worth doing, right?
What else you got to do?
Oh, I've got lots of things to do. None of it right now. um, one thing I can show you is this gizmo. The printing press takes ink, which is you can just use the straight squid drop. It is sometimes difficult to get it on there exactly right, but that's 64 bits of ink on there, so you can print 64 things. Surprise. Um, I've got some ideas for what's going down there, but I don't want to commit to anything just yet. As I'm sure you've noticed, I've way expanded my storage space, got rid of all those chests that I had, made some racks here. Another thing I'm kind of proud of, I got the tree farm working. I don't think we showed you that. Um, this is it. Um, it'll produce a tree here in a sec, I promise.
It will. No, really.
I
It'll
could add,
do it.
I could add some fertilizer. But basically, what we've got here is this gizmo, a planter, which I've set up to plant trees in all 9 quadrants. Well, quadrants is not, all 9 sectors. Stocked it up with trees. Upgraded it so it's got a larger radius. So every time there is a spot open up there, it will plant a tree. This gizmo is a harvester, and it does exactly what you'd think it would do. It harvests the trees as they go. It generates anything the tree drops, it will pick up. It produces sludge in the doing of it, which I don't know why I wanted to keep a barrel full, but I did, so I ran it out of the harvester into the barrel, and then the overflow goes into the fluid trash can. Everything that happens here gets sent to the ender chest, which goes into the base there and gets sorted out. The wood that comes from the harvester goes into the alloy smelter, where it gets smelted into charcoal, which then gets put over here into the furnace generators, which power the entire thing. And then I've got a fertilizer over here, which, when fed with fertilizer, um, seriously increases the plant growth. Like, seriously.
Like, are you serious?
Serious. Seriously. So, come on. Tree can grow any old time now. Any old time you want to. Grow a tree. Tree, 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 tree. 4444 5555. Come on. Oi. Why didn't you not? Uh,
My NEI stopped working.
my Botania setup is about to expand tremendously. Doesn't look like I've got much, but I have been feeding this little flower as often as I possibly can. So I've got 7 mana tablets full of mana. So I'll be able to do some serious stuff soon. It's a matter of getting around to it now, which I seem to have a problem with. But anyway, sir?
I've broken my NEI. It's not letting me look at recipes, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Well, there's a lot of recipes that aren't actually in the game. What are you trying to look at?
No, like if I interesting. I had looked. All right, never mind. I don't. I know what my problem is. I figured it out.
I know what your problem is, too.
Confusing the ME system with the regular NEI interface. They're 2 different interfaces.
Ah. Okay, well, this brings us right at 30 minutes. So I'm going to call a halt here. Any comments you want to make? What's happened so far?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, I'm going to suck the XP out of this drum real quick. I don't know what I'll be doing next episode. I will definitely get this thing figured out again. I always have to go and find a video or something to teach me how to do it. And when I come back next time, I'll have that. Um, um, I got a couple projects lined up. I think I will start on the IC2, get a few machines built, and put in there. You don't necessarily need to see that, so I'll do that off camera. Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. I don't know. We'll see what we see. But for now, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them on the site. And I think now we're off in search of bacon.
Tofu bacon.
Tofu bacon.
Bacon!
Bacon.